Now, the following story, I think we told more than once, but I don't know if I ever told in all of its detail. I think we even told it recently. Anyway, we're here and we first heard the story of my sukkah from Shalom Duchman, Chaim's brother-in-law. That's his Yichus, Chaim is Yov Shvager. And good morning, Yossi. And Shalom was telling the story in the name of Rabbi Yoel. So here's the story in all of its detail. Could be Shalom said it there. I don't remember all the detail, just the bottom line. So Rabbi Yoel relates, one year Yitzhak Kislev, there was a Fabrengen in Tel Aviv. Yitzhak Kislev in the yeshiva in Tel Aviv, and all of a sudden a fellow comes in, clean shaven, didn't appear to be observant, and completely shikar. And this is the Fabrengen in the yeshiva. So he sits down at the table, Rabbi Yoel was a bacher, and he starts to tell the bachrim the following. My name is Yitzchak, and he learned in Lubavitch and Timchet Mimim, and he learned in yeshiva a year and a half. He told him that his sister got caught up, yesterday's story, in the Askola, the Enlightenment, which is the sister, quote unquote, of communism, which then it was a plague that many fell prey to. The Jewish community is the best and the brightest. And she's telling me that don't stay in yeshiva, what are you wasting your time? And she tried with all kinds of ways to effect that I should leave yeshiva. And in the end, she was successful, and I left and I went to university, what's called the gymnasium. Over time, he said, I went down and became very far. I descended, I fell very far from keeping mitzvahs. Eventually, he was successful in leaving Russia, and he came to Israel and settled in Tel Aviv. He's telling the Baruch of this story. This is in the late 40s, mamish late 40s, in Tel Aviv. It's after the war. So he says when the Frierdiker Rebbe came in 1929 to visit at Yisrael, he stayed in the famous hotel in Tel Aviv. There's a picture of it. The Deher had a beautiful article on this recently. The Frierdiker Rebbe's visit to Israel in 1929. Now, he says, when I heard that the Rebbe was staying in the hotel, and this was on the route where I went every day to go to work. So I recall the story. He worked in the post office, but it doesn't mention that here. Anyway. So he says, I was afraid that if I'm going to walk from my house to where I work, past the hotel, and I'm going to see all the Chassidim, it's going to draw me in, and I don't want to go. So I looked for, can you imagine the guy shaking, came in drunk, he's telling the story here. So he looked for eitzes. He wasn't obviously out of his mind, but he looked for eitzes that this shouldn't happen. So he decided, as long as the Frierdiker Rebbe is here, I'm going to go in short pants. If I'm going in short pants to work, so I'm not going to obviously, go to the Chassidim and be drawn there. This magnet that draws me, I'll be able to resist it because how embarrassing. And that's what I did. He said he put on these khaki short pants, popular still in Israel, certainly in those days. And he went to work. But plans are one thing, and what happened is another, he tells the boys. When I went by the hotel and I saw the Chassidim, and I felt the atmosphere that was around the Rebbe, I had such a strong desire to come with my short pants, but I felt uncomfortable. So he ran back home and he put on just regular trousers and he came back. The secretary of the Frierdiker Rebbe recognized him. Come in, brought him into the Rebbe. When he went to the Rebbe right away, the Rebbe recognized him. He says to him, "No, Rabbi Yitzchak, was Herzach, how are you?" He didn't answer. I didn't answer anything. And the Rebbe said to him, and this was the theme of that night's Farbrengen in my sukkah, the next two words. You guys weren't around yet, I was thinking. This is the very early days. You remember that first Farbrengen? Remember it? So we first moved here in 19. So listen to, let's get the flow. The Rebbe says to him, "Was Herzach?" So you can feel the warmth, and then he says to him, "Met dreht sich, abi met treft sich." Met dreht sich, we wander and wander, but in the end, we meet. This is years after he'd left Lubavitch in there. And then he said to him, "We learned a perek Tanya. Do you learn a chapter of Tanya? If you learn a chapter of Tanya." Rabbi says he didn't say a word about him putting on film, mitzvahs. Rabbi's notes. He's saying this. He didn't tell me anything about. And he says, "I didn't listen." Now, this is part one of the story. Part two of the story, we'll tell you B'tzah Shem tomorrow. As long as we meet at the end. You can run, but you can't hide, right?